really want to know who from Sony said, you don't want to play ball to the Wayfarer parties. Let's talk about it while I'm making coffee. So on May 2nd, in a text exchange between Heath, a Sony executive, a Sony film executive, a Sony marketing executive who had just spoken with Lively, they informed Heath of Lively still escalating demands. Lively will not approve the trailer release unless she's granted more time in the edit room with her personal editor. Adding to the pressure, Lively made a veiled threat, implying she might change her mind about reaching out to Taylor Swift to secure the use of My Tears Ricochet for the trailer if her demands are not met. And then Heath was like, heck to the no, right? And so Sony marketing executive, who the freak was that, delivers a sharp and pointed warning. You do not want to play ball. You're going to delay and greatly hurt the movie. Good luck. The stark response signals that Sony too was beginning to apply pressure on Wayfarer. Good luck, babe. Good luck, Sony. Because karma's just gonna do its thing, man. As a matter of fact. But look at Sanford going like, and accused Josh of setting up a fake screening. So look, Josh bent over backwards. Josh Greenstein, the freaking protege of Harvey Weinstein, okay? That he worked for years under him. And now he worked as a co-chair or whatever at Sony, right? The co-CEO, whatever. At this point, who was just bending over backwards for Blake Lively. What does she do? How much power does she have that she accused the CEO of Sony and goes accused Josh of setting up a fake screening? She said they hired Screen Engine without consulting her. She is going to demand her own cut. She said no way on June. This was set up for what? June what? We are now looking at August. The premiere? Are they talking about a premiere in June that was supposed to be in June? Because if that's the case and she said no way to it, don't come later in text messages, ma'am, and go oh, sorry that my haircare products were supposed to launch on August. What else was pushed to August? Why not September? Why not July? Why the freak not? Let me take a guess. I said because she didn't have the money to launch her products and stuff like that, and she had to piggyback out of the promotions of this movie that was gonna be like a huge hit. Is that why she terrorized everyone? And her movie tested way lower than anything else, and her cut was chosen regardless. Delayed because no, this can't happen. June is a no. Sanford panicked, going we're now looking at August, and she says she's a terrorist. And then Home, is it? I don't know. That's gotta be marketing. Who knows? But Home said it was not fake. So yeah, I don't buy it. I really think that she was just doing all this. All of it was made up. It was all made up. It was a plan, not just to take over, but also she needed to coordinate the timing with the launch of her beauty brand. Somebody wanted to be Scarlett Johansson and Reese Witherspoon at the same time. It just kind of exploded in her face. But look. Let's remember, Jenny Slate. It has nothing to do with what I just said. But let's talk about the button popping situation on the jacket. Remember that? On the Deposition for Blake Lively and Jenny Slate, they were talking about this jacket. Jenny goes I remember that she was in her her own clothes, not wardrobe. So she dressed low cut. She made a decision, right? Okay, so she's nobody's forcing her, and she goes in my memory was yeah, some sort of button up or something. And from what I remember, but maybe I'm wrong, that she had a blazer that I think she said it was Ryan's blazer. Shut the freak up, Jenny. You don't remember nothing bye. Then Blake Lively goes I had a newborn baby, and I had a jacket on, and that was covering my dress underneath. And I bent down to pick up something, and the jacket opened. And my dress was low cut because it was easier to feed my baby. And Mr. Baldoni sat in front of, Justin sat in front of, I remember in front of Jenny Slate. And I don't remember specifically who else was there, but he said, "I like your outfit." And he gestured at the chest. And she just made a movement of the hand. But see, if Baldoni was like this, you know what? It's like your outfit, like your fit, right? Oh, Blake. So explain. She was 21 and already breastfeeding? Like, does she dress like that because, like, to promote a movie? No one got sued, guys. The interviewer saw more chest than Jamie Heath in that trailer. Than Baldoni and the entire crew. Heck, around this time is whenever, like, she did her little alleged photos with the tattoo. You know what I mean? Alleged. Ben Affleck allegedly saw way more than anybody else. Allegedly. And he sure did not get, like, you know, any sort of, like, complaints. On day one, they had to, like, even, like, maybe for the audition or, like, I don't know. It was, like, the makeout scene and stuff like that. Go watch the freaking audition stuff and, like, the interviews from way back in the day. And then you will realize that right away they started going at it and stuff like that. And no one complained. Zero HR issues. No problem whatsoever with Ben directing and acting at the same time, but she makes it such a big deal that Justin Baldoni, you know, is the director and an actor. Yeah, girl, like, I didn't know that you were breastfeeding back in the day, like, whenever you were, like, 21, auditioning or getting a role for a 37-year-old with a Boston accent that you didn't have, that you couldn't, like, mock up, like, in the movie either. All in my opinion, allegedly.